All right, we are live according to the little blue box.
The little blue box is lying.
Oh,
Oh, you lied to us, little blue box.
Looks yellow to me.
well, now it's orange, so
See?
Oh yeah.
It has a gender identity crisis.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. This is Klik and Klak. It is a one-shot and a Gnomish Fable, um, and I just wanted to take a moment here to have everybody introduce their characters and themselves. Let's go ahead and start with Chris.
Hello, everyone. I am playing the character Baylor Battlebeast. He is a rock gnome, and he is a member of the guard.
All right. Let's go down the line to Nick.
Yes, I'm playing Milo Hillsprig, and he is a halfling druid, and yeah, it's my first time playing a halfling. Giddy up! And I have a YouTube channel you can check out, WASD20. There's my plug.
All right. First plug of the night. Awesome. And then we will go to Spencer.
Hi, I am playing Oren Ralnor. He is a wizard. He is a necromancer, but he's a little bit ashamed of it, so he calls himself a evocationist.
Quiet again there.
Yeah, a little bit quiet on
I'm
the
sorry,
actual
yeah.
team.
Alright, my character is Oren Ralnor.
Yep.
He is a wizard. He is a necromancer, but he's a little ashamed of it, so he calls himself a evocationist.
Nice.
All right. And last but not least, we've got Mark.
Sweet. So I'm Mark, playing Silver Buttercup, a Celtic fairy.
Are we about to learn that friendship is magic?
Yes, friendship is
course.
magic. And I'm playing a female character because I can't picture myself as a masculine fairy.
Yeah, it's a little hard to imagine that.
But yeah, she's bubbly, cheerful, and she talks a lot, so
Uh-oh.
she might get on some people's nerves.
But she's also very small compared to
Yeah, only
everyone
3
else.
inches tall.
Ooh.
She'll fit in your pocket.
Exactly.
A hard target to smack out of the air when we get annoyed with the chatting.
Yeah.
Come back here!
So the scene begins, and you see a weathered old man sitting in a bedroom, in a pretty spacious-looking wooden bedroom. Yeah. And you see that there's a young child in the bed, curling up under the covers, and the candlelight is kind of flickering. You can see the night sky through the window. And the child kind of pulls the covers up over himself, and he says, "Tell me a story, Gampa. Tell me a story." And you see the old man kind of slowly shuffle into the room, and he just looks over, and there's a large bookshelf on his right, and he's kind of running his fingers across the spines of the books.
Is there a book there titled All's Quiet in Mornar?
Well, we're not sure yet. One can assume that there are many different titles of many different adventures.
Maybe one called The Princess Bride?
And he runs his fingers down their spine. He finds a very large, old, leather-bound book with gold leaf lettering on it. And he pulls it out. He says, "Well, what do you say we read something new tonight?" And you can see the child kind of light up, and he kind of sits upright, and looks at him attentively as the old man sits down. Well, my boy, have you ever heard of the Gnomish Fables? And he says, no, no. And he props the book open. He says, well, have you ever heard of a place called the Brindlewind? And he says, no, Gimp, I've never heard of it. This is a very faraway place that existed a very long time ago. It's a place quite unlike any other. A place where only little people lived. Little people quite like yourself, actually, in size. And you see him kind of flip the page over, and he says, well, what better way to start than at the beginning? Chapter 1, Klik and Klak, the Gnomish Fable. And you kind of see the screen shift and fade. And you hear the man voicing over saying that we find our unlikely band of heroes right at the beginning of their first meeting. They're standing deep in the heart of the Brindlewood. Why they're there and what they're up to, well, that's up to them to decide. And I would like for Chris, if you could tell me why Baylor is out in the woods among these strange people that he has not seen before.
Baylor has heard tell of a legend of a great beast that has been terrorizing the folk in the area, and he wants to find it and be the one to slay it and have his name go down in legend.
Okay, so you're kind of stalking through the woods. Maybe you've got your weapons at the ready. It's kind of getting a sense and a feel for where he might have gone.
I'm walking through with this short dagger-looking thing in my hand, just ready at the willing.
And you hear some twigs snapping behind you. And as you kind of turn, you see a small wizard. Orin, what brings you into this neck of the woods?
Oh, well, I'm looking for the beast too. I mean, I was sent by my teacher. He said that we can't let the guards have all the fun.
Yes, you've heard. Not only is there honor to be had in hunting this beast, but there is gold aplenty. There is a bounty on this beast's head, and there are many copper gears to be had here. Many coins to be gained by hunting down this beast. And let's see, we've got Milo. I imagine you are probably perched on a treetop somewhere nearby. What perhaps brings you into this neck of the woods?
Yes, so I am smoking on a pipe and just kind of humming a tune, and I am examining the leaves on this tree. I was raised and born and raised in the woods, and have a great love of all things of nature. But I've heard of this Brindlewood, and so I have come, and I'm just exploring its wonders, and I'm delighting in everything I see as I spryly kind of hop about, and yeah.
Yes, and there are things here that you have certainly never seen before. You have, as you entered the woods, you saw for the first time the infamous brindle trees they almost jut out of the ground like needles. They're very pine tree-esque, except their leaves are quite broad and they're blue and when the wind rushes through the trees, it almost sounds like you can almost hear Mother Nature whispering to you.
Hmm.
And as the breeze picks up, you can understand why this place is called the Brindlewind, because it's a very haunting sound as the breeze blows through. You also notice that the fungi on the forest floor is very large. It's the biggest you've ever seen. These mushrooms and mold and the underbrush. It's just all almost comically oversized. 5 or 10 times the normal size. Oren, you would notice too that that every once in a while you'll see coming from the ground a little puffs of blue smoke, and they're luminescent when it comes out, and it's just like a little quick splash of color, and almost as you can feel it, an energy tingling as it kind of spouts out. You would know that these are known as the aether vents, and they're very common in these woods. Milo, this is something you've never seen before, but it is a common occurrence in the Brindlewood. So the three of you are sort of near each other. In the immediate distance, you can hear clinking, a little clink, and this music starts to play. It's just quiet and tinkling music. It sounds like it's immediately behind all of you, and it's chiming a tune that's unfamiliar to all of you. It's just sounds like a simple repeating melody, and it's quietly echoing off of the trees.
Do you hear that, guys? Do you hear that?
What is that?
I don't know. It sounds like a song.
And you
Can't say I've heard that song before.
And it's just a simple ding 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 over and over again, and it sounds like a children's music box has suddenly been wound up. And even though and you're in the middle of the woods, this is highly unusual.
May I attempt to ascertain something about this? Just try to get a perception on it.
Okay, maybe trying to figure out where it's coming from, or
Yeah.
Okay.
How about a 13?
In 13, you kind of look behind you, and you can see nestled in the crook of a tree, sort of covered with one of the blue leaves of the brindle tree, is a polished brass music box.
I reach in and attempt to pick it up.
Okay. As soon as your hand gets ever so slightly close to it, it pops open, and you see Silver, who says,
No people, no people. Oh, who are you? You look weird.
We look weird.
What are you, you little thing?
and this little fairy with trails of light coming off of it is just flitting all over the place around you.
Is it asking us to listen? Because if it is, I'm going to kill it.
Hey, listen.
It's a fairy! It's a fairy! Oh.
That
Can I start to clap my hands?
Oh yeah, we have to clap. We don't die.
I'm so excited to meet new people. I normally I roll around here. I only see squirrels and weasels and such.
Well, what a marvelous creature you are! My goodness.
And you look really cool too. You're amazing.
Uh, okay, very very flattering.
Why are you sitting in a music box in the middle of the thicket?
This music box. It was given to me a couple years ago by a passing gnome. It's become my home.
Oh, okay.
It's very comfortable in there.
Well, that's good.
And you can kind of see on the interior of the music box has a lot of the actual mechanical aspects of the box. The spinning little ballerina that's been carved in there has been kind of moved aside, and you can see there's a makeshift bed full of tiny little knickknacks littering the inside of this music box. Just the most mundane-looking things you can imagine. Little tiny rocks and sticks and things like that. Maybe a small bolt of thread, a thimble, things like that.
So Silver points to the ballerina, and she goes over to her and picks it up and says, see, sometimes I dance with this when I feel like it. It's really fun. You want to try?
No.
I'd rather not.
I wouldn't want to step in on your friend. Anyway,
I think I'll pass as well. Thank you, though.
Little Silver, was it?
Yes.
I'm looking for a great beast. You wouldn't happen to know of anything that's clearly bigger and more dangerous than the rest in these woods?
I don't know of anything dangerous in these woods. Everything looks really nice. I like the nature. There's many things in here that's good and tranquil. I don't know of anything.
Spirit.
Yes. Oh, what was that?
Oh my.
That one good.
That's not a sound that's normally heard in these woods.
And you can, any of you who have kind of high perception, you would begin to feel the ground kind of rumbling a little bit, and you can kind of hear the sound of multiple animal feet.
To the trees, lads! And I quickly scramble up a tree.
I push the button on the side of my dagger and it launches out into a great sword, and I try to keep myself from getting knocked over by the force of it.
I'm going to go up the tree as well.
Silver's going to flutter around, almost nervous like, never having heard these noises come from deep within this forest before.
All right, so we've got two people in the trees, it looks like, and Baylor, you are on the ground still?
Baylor is standing his ground.
So Baylor, you would probably see it last, as everyone else has a higher vantage point. You see just almost a wall of wildlife stampeding towards you. It's just all kinds of creatures that you're very familiar with. They're not particularly dangerous, but they're pretty large.
I would. Is there a tree nearby?
Oh yeah, there's.
Let me rephrase that. How wide is the nearest tree?
Well, the brindlewood trees are pretty skinny. You could knock them over relatively easily, but there's also regular trees and things that are even wider than normal trees that are almost like redwoods around.
Okay. I'm gonna move to the closest one and just stand behind it to give myself some cover.
Okay. So you managed to get behind this tree just in time as this massive deer and elks and things of foxes and things kind of rush by you. And you hear the loud sounds of them roaring by you. You also see amidst them is this very large beast that you've been hunting.
Is there still any animals going by?
There are, yeah, they're kind of rushing by. He's like in the middle of this group of animals.
Can I attempt to jump on one of the animals?
Yeah,
That would be an athletics check? Or an acrobat?
I would say it depends on how you go about it. If you're trying to like expertly leap on one, or if you're trying to like grapple one and hold on and
I would more so just jump into the air and try to grab hold of the first,
Yeah.
hold tight of the first thing that I can hold on to.
That's athletics.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so 11.
So you guys up in the trees probably have a pretty good perspective of him trying to jump on the back of this wildebeest that's just about the same size as him, and it bucks and kind of sends him launching, and he lands on his ass in the leaves. Pretty hard, actually. It kind of knocks the wind out of him for a second. But the other thing that you notice is the direction from which the creatures were fleeing. Mila, you would probably notice this first because it's not a very it's a fairly unfamiliar smell to you, being that you're one with nature so frequently. It smells like smoke, but it's there's something about it that doesn't. It smells almost like a forest fire, but at the same time there's something there that just doesn't smell natural in the air. And if you kind of look in that direction, you can see that there's blue flame kind of very faintly giving off light in the distance. And as you watch, you see a small explosion, and this blue fire kind of makes a mushroom cloud and dissipates into the sky.
If I take a check to see if it's something magical or is it just something burning?
You're trying to do a check.
Yeah, investigation.
Yeah, either that or if you're trying to determine if it's magical, Arcana would probably work as well.
Yeah, Arcana then. That would be a 11.
This is definitely not something that naturally occurs in the Brindlewind. This is you've got the feeling that this is some kind of channeling of electric energy, of thunder energy.
I would grasp my staff and just kind of, I'm white knuckling this thing, and I call out, "There is something very wrong here."
I agree. I say that we should go check it out.
We should definitely investigate. I don't like this at all.
Silver will probably have some inkling that something's off about the forest that she lives in, but she doesn't know exactly what it is. That's how she feels that is wrong.
Baylor, as you're kind of riding yourself up from this stampede, couple of muddy hoof prints on your chest, you brush yourself off, and you also too see this fire in the distance. And the first thought that pops into your head is home.
I immediately start sprinting as fast as I can in that direction.
You see the gnomish fighter get up and start running.
Yeah, I'm gonna start going down the tree, but very carefully to not try to hurt myself. Orin's a very careful person.
Okay.
And I would probably just take one leap down and start kind of slowly moving after our gnomish runner here.
And Silver's gonna follow along with, something's wrong, guys. We have to check it out. We have to check it out. really, really quickly.
And as you, Baylor, as you're rushing through this forest and the trees are whipping by you, and you're ducking over branches, you're jumping over rocks, and as you're getting closer and closer to home, to your home, to Midbrindle, this loose settlement of gnomes and dwarves and halflings that is the only home that you've ever known. And as you get closer, you can see in the sky there's two it almost looks like small birds, but they're very, very distant. It's hard to see, but they're swooping down and they're breathing this lightning, and first you see the flash of the lightning, and then a few seconds later you hear the rumble of thunder.
Can I tap into my experience dealing with animals to see if I can figure out what this might be?
Okay.
18.
As the more you look at these things, the more that you realize that they're not alive. They're emulating life. The way that their wings are moving, the way that they're flying in the sky, it's very rigid. It's very mechanical. And the longer you look, and as they kind of swoop down as you get closer, and they let out another beam, you can see that they almost look like little dragons made with brass plating, and you can almost hear the gears clinking on their insides as they sort of circle overhead.
I would like to climb up one of the buildings that's hopefully not as much ablaze as the others.
Okay. So you are the first to arrive in your village, and you can see that that the rest of the guard is busy. Well, they're too preoccupied with the fire that's slowly spreading in the sound to even try to fight off whatever these things are that are flying overhead. As you climb your way up this tree, of course, most of as you know, most of the wood gnomes live in the trees. They build nests, almost like birds' nests that they live in. So you're kind of, going past people's homes as you climb up this tree. You get a better vantage point. You can see that closer now that these brass-looking creatures are much larger than they first appeared. They're just kind of, as they swoop low, and you can see that they've got these tiny little cubes clutched in their talons. And,
do they appear to be going pretty much the same paths every time they swoop, or is it different paths?
It's kind of sporadic right now. They just seem to be swooping one way, and then they'll come back around and maybe swoop in an opposite direction.
Okay,
there's definitely not a pattern.
I would wait until I would think one is getting close, so I'm going to sit there and try to just bide my time until one is close-ish or going to be close.
Okay. So as he's doing that, what are the rest of you up to?
Are the rest of us in the village yet?
Yeah, by the time he gets up the tree, you guys would probably be coming into the town as well.
Alright, Warren is going to try to cast a firebolt, try to reel back, and then throw it as far as he can at one of the creatures.
Okay.
That would be a 22 to hit.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you let a firebolt loose, and you can see that it sinks into the side of this creature, and it kind of jostles, and all of a sudden you hear they both let out like almost a mechanical sounding roar, and you can see that they turned you, and their eyes their eyes are glowing red. They turn to you, and they start to swoop down. And as they do so, they let go of the cubes that they've been holding, and they start tumbling down. As the cubes are falling, they kind of unwind like clockwork and open up a little bit, and you see feet and arms kind of come out of this cube as this little clockwork drones start falling, plopping on the ground.
I would start rushing down the tree as quickly as I can if I saw that.
And you can see them, these little cube-shaped drones, for lack of a better term. They're all they're gathering up and picking up the brindle sticks and making, kind of hefting them like makeshift spears.
Hmm.
And all you can hear, aside from the occasional boom of thunder, is just the clicking and whirring of the gears. As you see, let me throw a quick. As you see, 12 of these little drones, sort of making almost a circular formation in the center of town.
What are they made of? I'm sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
Mechanical. They're mechanical in nature.
Yeah, they're everything, as far as you can tell with your limited knowledge of metals. Everything seems to be made of bronze.
Okay.
So I'm not very stealthy, but I would probably try to sneak up and get as close as I could without getting noticed, to just get a closer look at these things if we're not already very close.
Yeah, you can see that they're pretty busy, making makeshift impromptu weapons. The closer you get, you can see that they've got little. They almost look like somebody had taken a brass cube and put a human face on it on the front, and it's got long spindly arms and long spindly legs, and it's in the center. The cube can kind of rotate, so you can kind of robotically rotate around, and these things are they just seem to be occupied with grabbing anything they can to make a weapon with.
I wonder if this is permissible. I'm thinking of using Silver's Fave presence as an action to fear these creatures with some minor illusion or something.
You're trying to make a minor illusion?
Actually, I'm trying to fear them.
Are constructs capable of receiving fear?
I'm not sure.
That is something that I don't know.
Well, she wouldn't know, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way, you wouldn't know in character whether or not it would work, so you'd.
Yeah.
So if it's possible to work, the save DC would be 12, I believe. No, wait. It says wisdom.
Wisdom plus proficiency plus 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to have.
It's 12. Yeah, 12.
Now, what are you trying to do to make them? What kind of illusion are you trying to conjure to frighten these creatures?
Not sure. Can't think of anything off the top of my head that wouldn't be metagaming-ish. Something that she would think would fear them. Maybe some like large tree monster that's walking about or something.
So you make your best reconstruction that you can of an illusory treant, a very small illusory treant,
Hmm.
and it kind of lumbers into this group to try and frighten these things, and they don't seem to pay it any mind at all. They actually start do an about face and start moving away from the center of this circle that they formed, heading in all directions within the village.
One of them just casually strolls right through the illusion.
Yeah, exactly.
Are the creatures that were flying still coming after me?
I'm sorry?
I think you said that the creatures that were flying were diving towards me, Orin. When I attacked
Yeah,
them?
but all they did was let these things go, and then they went back. They went kind of up higher than they were before.
Oh, all right.
I would probably just continue. I mean, you guys can do what you want, but I would just continue to watch and try to find out what exactly they're doing here. Are people running about, or?
Yeah, it's definitely bedlam right now. There's people trying to put fires out. There's people trying to get weapons together.
And are they actually attacking people?
They are at this point. They have started to try and attack anyone that was foolish enough to be close to them.
Okay, I would probably then actually try to find a group where there's more than a couple of them within a good group, and I would probably take my I would pull out some bark and I would close my eyes and crush the bark and try to ensnare them in some weeds that would shoot up from the ground.
Okay.
There's a group of I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 that are all within 20 feet of each other. That would be ideal, but
Let's say there's a group of 5 that you can get that are all kind of they've started to form into a little separate patrol.
okay. So the DC on that would be 13, and
Okay.
I think it's strength. Yep.
Or strength saving throw.
Yep.
All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start rolling this. Okay. So it is, and I'm assuming this is like a vine type of thing that's coming
Yep.
out in this
Yeah, it
area?
is. Yep.
Okay. So these vines come out and kind of wrap their way around these guys. 3 of them are ensnared by this attack. 2 of them kind of manage to just walk out of the vines just in time. What does
Okay.
that do? Does that hurt them at all?
So no, I don't think it hurts them. It just entangles them, and let's see, a creature. They're restrained by entangling plants, and a creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself. So,
Okay.
and that is now difficult terrain within that 20 feet range.
All right. With that, I think we are going to jump into an initiative. If you guys could post that on the chat.
And I would scream out, "Have at them, lads!"
That's that. Okay. Looks like just need Spencer. If you could give me your.
Spencer, you might not know where the chat is if you didn't know where that other thing is.
Yeah.
Do you know how to get to that?
No,
That blue box on the upper left.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Yep. Same menu as that Hang Out toolbox earlier.
didn't roll too well.
Okay, so it looks like that. Oh, my pen's dying. Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. This pen cost me at least 10 cents.
Well, I'm not thinking of, like, terms of prices. I'm thinking you don't have anything to write with now.
Yeah.
You can't use them anymore.
If only there was a tool to keep records of things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait.
Alright. So it looks like that the top of the rotation would be Baylor.
Indeed. I would hope so. Okay. I would rush to the closest clockwork man or drone thing, abomination of God, and
Yeah, it's pretty creepy looking.
I would swing my great sword at him with great fervor. And that would be a net 19, which, with improved critical, is a critical.
Nice.
Nice.
So, rolling my damage.
Alright.
$17 damage to whoever I just hit.
Okay. So, you, and this is a great, you're using your sword, you said?
Yeah, my great sword.
You managed to cut this particular cube in half at the pivot point. And the top kind of pops off of it like a cork. And you see these sparks flying, and your sword keeps going, and it starts. It cuts into the next one in line a little bit. Just dings it just a little bit.
Nice.
Let's see. And
That works.
Looks like Milo.
All right, so I would.
Wait, what?
Oh wait, no,
I
it's
got
not me.
12.
Oh wait,
Silver.
yeah, I've got it on here wrong. Okay,
Whoops.
silver. I told you my pen is dying, so I gotta actually
A likely story.
use
Leg.
my brain and everything.
Okay, so Silver's gonna cry out, in the name of Willowbane and all that is, all nature that is good, you shall fall. and she
Cue the Sailor Moon music.
yes, she's transformed into a cinnamon girl. I'm just kidding. But no, in all seriousness, she's like powering up this I don't know what you call it, but it's some magical energy in the palm of her hands, and she sends it forth on one of these constructs. It is an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. So you've got the main group of 5 that are near Milo that he's fighting off. You've got a group of about 3 that are near Baylor, and 2 that are kind of stragglers. They're not really near anybody at the moment.
Silver will fight off the one that's closest to her.
Okay. That'd be one of the stragglers. A 12?
Yes.
A 12 does hit.
Sweet. Question. Does Eldritch Invocations, are they constantly active, or do you have to invoke them? Like, is there a certain amount of times you can invoke them or whatever?
I do believe they're.
I don't believe there's a limit, unless it says that there is. What are you trying to do?
Well, I've got the invocation that allows me to add my charisma modifier to Eldritch Blast.
Oh, that's just automatic.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah, it's just that's the way it is for now.
Oh, sweet. That would be 10 damage, 10 force damage.
Okay. So you blast when you do the Eldritch Blast. You blast the bottom half of this thing off, and it kind of collapses for a second, and then it pushes up, and it's walking on its hands.
Nice.
So With that,
Awesome.
we are at Milo.
Okay, so that one is still in the fight, just disabled.
It's definitely not looking, it's half the man it used to be. Har, har, har.
There are
Alright, so-
pieces falling off of me.
I would probably try to. I will wade in there, and I draw my shield, my wooden shield, off my back, and have my staff at the ready. And as a bonus action, I kind of grasp my staff, and I actually pull out my spell focus, which is this sprig, and I rub it on my staff for a moment, and the staff begins to glow green as I move in to pummel this thing with my staff, and I say, "Wood destroying metal, the way it should be." Nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
There we go.
So that would be. So how do you do crits? Is it by the book here?
Well, what I do,
Double my roll and then add my mods, or what?
yeah, that works. And also, basically what happens when you also is you get to set the scene and do what you would with it within reason. Basically, like you do the damage, but then you also can narratively change something about the scene.
When you say the scene, what do you mean?
Like if you
Am I just describing my kill, or are you saying go beyond?
you're just describing the kill, but then also at the same time something else happens that is either is potentially beneficial to you, like maybe the town guard shows up or it starts raining, just as an example, something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah. Okay. I like the rain. So anyway, I kind of jab this thing with my quarterstaff, and I, it kind of falls into pieces, but there's enough of it left that I fling this thing, and it actually goes flying, and the rest of it hits a roof nearby, and a crack of thunder, and it begins to rain.
Nice.
Seems like every one of your games starts off with some rain.
Oh, that's all right.
Cue the rain.
And the one on the roof is just kind of twitching. It's pretty much a pile of springs at this point.
Yep. Cool.
Okay, it is their turn.
They don't need to go.
Sure, why not? Someone switching to easy mode all of a sudden. I would say there are. You guys have actually managed to kill 3 of them so far, so there are 9 of them left. They're probably going to break off from their formation that they were in before into groups of 2 per person, or would that be? That'd be 3 per person, right?
I thought they were already broken off into
2 per
formations of,
person
like,
and 1 extra for someone else.
Yeah.
or something.
Well, they can move. They're moving right now, so that's why they're kind of shifting formation to where you are. Now that they've recognized you guys as a
That's a more
threat.
accurate description.
Now that we've been dissecting their friends.
So let's see. The 3 of them are going to go after Milo.
Here's where my AC comes into play. Uh-oh.
Wow. Okay. Milo, could you describe to me how you dodged 3 blows?
All right, so they swing low, and I actually put my quarterstaff on the ground, and I swing my feet high and actually swing around and kind of almost pole vault myself, but it's a spinning pole vault with my amazing 10 dexterity.
Nice. Somewhere in the distance, a squirrel holds up a card that says 9. Another squirrel's got a card that says 8.
Oh no. That's my weasel.
Yeah, and the French squirrel is holding up a 3.
French!
Cause French.
It's a completely relevant and topical joke about the 2012 Olympics.
No, that was like 2002 Olympics.
You're old, man. You are old.
All right.
Oh, don't make him feel any older than he is. He's
Yeah,
having
I've
his
got a
birthday in
birthday
like 4 days.
Oh. Hey, you got more hair than me, man. That's my constant self-esteem booster. It works.
Yep.
And, okay. So, Oren, one of them misses you, the other one hits. And he's going to try to stick you, or he did successfully stick you, with basically the equivalent of a wooden shank for 2 damage.
So a metallic creature has wooden sword.
Well, he did. They picked him up, like
Oh.
they picked up a stick and they were using them as weapons,
Yeah.
basically.
Yep. That completely like went over my head.
Like basically, the brindle trees are like you can snap a branch off and use it as a weapon immediately.
Mhm.
All right, and let's see. That would leave. Let's go silver. They're going to try and get. 2 of them are trying to go after you. Oh no. Well, that's interesting. Well, that's a nat 20 on the first one, and
Ow.
a 17 on the second one.
Whew.
Ouch.
So she's like dimly going back and forth. Yeah, you can't hit me. And then she sees that they're swinging their sword or whatever, their stick down her and says, ah! And gets hit by both of them. Oh goodness. Will I survive?
That is 10 damage total.
Ooh.
Ow. If this was 4th edition, I'd be bloody now.
Yeah, they hit you pretty hard. That crit rolled high, unfortunately. Let's see. I believe that leaves Baylor. 10 and 21
The 21 hits.
for 3 damage. All right, and now it is Orange turn.
Alright,
Yes.
Actually being hit by them, I'm going to kind of freak out a little bit, and get my hands up to cast Burning Hands. So they will need to be a dexterity save of 15.
Okay. And I would say you could probably hit about 4 of them from where you are. The 2 that are near you and the 2 that are nearest to your ally, your nearest ally. And right, so that is 14, 17. And 2 of them failed.
Alright. For the ones that failed, that will be 11 damage, and then 5 for the ones that passed.
Okay. So let me go ahead and do that.
That must be annoying to try to keep your little mic up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a pain. I'm going to have to go out and get something a little bit better than this.
You know what I forgot, guys, is if they're restrained, we get advantage on attack rolls.
Oh.
And the creatures, so not all of them are restrained, only 3 of them, right, Carl?
Yeah.
Okay, and maybe we've already got those ones, but anyway. And the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Oh, well, I
Yeah.
think that I think a lot of them missed anyway. So, but I'll go ahead and remember that for next.
Yeah.
Assuming they even get a next turn.
And they can't move. But they can't attack. They just can't. Their speed becomes 0.
So, Orin, you said you kind of threw it out in a panic, right?
Yeah.
But once the fire dissipates, you see 4 puddles of bronze on the forest floor, where the cubes used to be.
All right, and Orin will gain a few hit points back since he is a necromancer,
Ah,
and he'll have a little bit of joy, but try to hide it a little bit.
you're kind of you're doing like the soul absorbing spell. Is that what that is?
It is a necromancy thing. It's a Grim
Okay.
Harvest.
I am going to roll something. Okay. So when you go to kind of absorb these things, essence.
Oh, actually, these are constructs, aren't they?
Yeah, but I was gonna say.
Right. Yeah, sorry. It does not do for constructs. Sorry, I just read that.
But I'm gonna say that maybe you kind of tried to do it, or at least to get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And as soon as you went to go do that, you almost feel like a tingling, like a electrical sensation go through your body. And you look around, and there are these neon-colored bioluminescent butterflies just floating around.
A metallic taste in your mouth.
And they're just fluttering around, and there's just hundreds of them in your immediate periphery just floating around.
That's awesome.
And with that, we are at Baylor.
Okay, I have 2 enemies in front of me, correct?
Yep.
Okay, I shall swing at one of them.
Okay.
And that is... that plus... how much am I adding? 21.
Well, nope. No, I'm just kidding.
Target! 5,
Somebody did all
11,
these rasks.
13 damage. Did almost as much as I did on the critical with a non-critical.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
roll terrible damage on crits.
Yeah. Okay, Baylor,
Yes.
you and all your beast hunting and tracking ways, how do you shut down this cube?
I would start at the top and work my way down. Like any good attack on a company.
So you're like slicing layers off, or you're just like hacking over and over again?
One great just swipe from the mid downwards.
Ah, okay. I gotcha. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that should be it for now.
Okay. Silver.
So I'm assuming the 2 that were next to me, they're still fine and all.
Yeah, there's not very many of them left at this moment. Actually.
How many are there?
You can count that after that burning hands just went off, there are only 5 of them left.
That's still enough to down her. So she's getting up, pain coursing through her. And she's groaning as she's standing up, and she's worried about getting hit once more. And she uses the illusory her illusory powers taught to her by Willowbane, mirror image, to create clones of herself.
Ah.
Nice.
So you suddenly see that there are 3 silvers.
Actually, 4. There's 3 clones,
Hmm.
and they all take flight simultaneously to
So
re-engage these 2. Yeah, they're fluttering all around the 2 constructs that just hit her last turn.
So probably to everyone else, it looks like she got hit and then cartooned into 4 different people at the same time. All right. Cool. Mila, you still have the 3 that you ensnared are still ensnared.
Mhm. Okay.
It's just kind of they're kind of scattered in this. The remaining ones are just kind of scattered in a loose circular formation, about 10 feet from each other.
Okay. I think I will probably move to the one closest to me. And okay, here's my question. Would I be able to ascertain which of the silvers is the real silver? Is there any indication of that or no?
If I recall that spell correctly, I don't think so. I think it looks like there's 4 of her, and that's the whole trick, is that you can't tell which one's which.
Okay. Then I can't heal you, buddy.
It's fine. All I have to do is roll an 8, and
All right.
if they do hit the real one, they don't.
Yep. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah. Then I'm moving in with my quarterstaff once again, and I'm just going to go for the one that is nearest to me. One that is entangled, I should say.
Okay.
And I take a swing, and that would be a 15 to hit.
15 is a hit.
All right. And I hit for 6 damage.
Okay. So you hit that one, and when you hit it, it kind of splits open like a ripe melon, and this the oil and everything in it kind of starts to leak out, and a little bit of it touches you, and you feel a tingling running through your skin, and before you even know what's going on, you look down at the palm of your hand, and your skin is turned blue. All of it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
That's probably safe.
That's disturbing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, so I would probably start to panic a little bit and start to look at my hands, and I'd only be able to see my hands, but start to back up a little bit and get the jitters.
And you guys see these? There's only 4 drones left now, so they each just pick a person and go.
Well, two of them were right next to Silver, so I would think they would both attack the 4 silvers that are around her. Yeah, you should do that, Carl.
So what happens? What does it do for mirror image when they? Well, I guess I'll just roll and you'll let me know how it works.
Yeah, they target one of them.
Okay, one is an 18 and one is a 6.
The 6 does not hit.
I would hope not.
I'm just gonna roll just to make sure that it's not me. It's not. So that clone is destroyed.
Okay. So he kind of cuts through the air and.
Yeah, and it vanishes and it's like just an after image kind of thing.
You've lost a life. All right. Well, I think Milo with your bright blue skin will certainly attract the attention of one of these. It's going to try to get at you and roll an 8. All right. And the other one, let's say, is going after Baylor.
Okay, what did he roll?
That is a 20, an unnatural 20.
Still hits.
For 4 damage.
Ouches.
Hey, now that's a lot of damage for someone like, say, Orin or Milo.
Yeah.
Hey, Silver took more damage than those two attacks combined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, we are back at Orin's turn.
All right. I'm going to put my hands together. Fire gets on them and it's going to form fireball. I'm going to chuck it at one of the ones that are stuck in the vines.
Okay. Is it fireball or firebolt?
Fire bolt.
Okay.
And is that advantage?
Yep.
All right. Because my second roll is a nat 20.
Nice.
And then altogether that is 15 damage.
15? Okay. So who would you like the oil to hit this time, Orin?
Just say that it just kind of explodes all over, dousing on the vines and on the other, the last construct that is in there.
But who among the party would you like to get hit with the oil?
Who would be the closest?
Probably. Well, it depends on if Mila, if you moved after you entangled, or if you stayed near your entangled vines or not.
I would not have been able to move really after my action. Well, I would have, I guess, but no, I probably would have backed up 5 feet.
So most likely.
Yeah, it'd probably be Milo.
Okay. Milo's having a fun day so far.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try to paint him blue.
Make me pink or something. Next one's red, so then it makes
Oh, nice. Okay.
Lay it on me.
Well, I stand corrected. The oil did not just get on you, Milo. It sprayed everywhere. It got a little drop of it hit everybody. So this is going to be an interesting minute. You can kind of feel it starting to work.
It wouldn't take much to knock Silver out of the air. Even a drop or two would knock her off her flight path.
Yeah. But let's see, what would that be then? Looks like back at Baylor. Oh, let me roll for you, Baylor.
What are we doing?
The
What are we
oil.
rolling for? Oh, yeah. Okay.
No. Your
What?
skin has also turned blue.
What about Silver? Does anything happen to Silver? Is she no longer Silver?
Well, it's on. It would be on your turn. That's the easiest way to
okay.
do it.
Gotcha.
Okay. So what effect does that have on me?
Your skin is blue. That's
Okay.
as far as you can tell right now.
Alright, there's one more in front of me, correct?
Yeah.
Alright. I shall attack him. That time I didn't need the improved critical. That's a true 20.
Nice.
Okay.
The last two are going to be near Silver. taking them all down, and she's just flying around them. Nah.
Or we could just roll max damage. That works too. That would be 26 damage.
Okay.
There's
so
nothing left of him. He is just gone. He wasn't even
there's
there.
there's something that you didn't. There's something that you guys just found out about Baylor. Baylor's least favorite color is blue. He absolutely can't stand blue. And these things just made him blue. He takes 2 of the cubes and smashes them together. Just completely like accordion folding them. And you have no idea how he got the strength to do this. And
Or how he got the range.
he just kind of picks one up and throws it so hard that it just embeds into the other one.
It embeds into one of the ones that Silver was fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Nearly dodges out of the way as it goes.
Yes, and with that, Silver. All right, give me 1 sec.
She is no longer silver, but blue.
No. You dodge this, this accordioned cube thing that goes by and sticks into the tree behind you. And as you turn back, everyone's gone. The only thing you can see are feet, new footprints being made in the ground around you.
Ah, crap.
Wow.
I'm blinded.
No, the
Wait, what?
city is still there, but all the people in your immediate view seem to be invisible.
I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It's as though anything that isn't living or a construct is just invisible to you.
So I actually still see the constructs?
No, well, you can see like their footprints being made by everyone, but you can't see anything going on.
I thought you said anything that was. Yeah, that included constructs. Okay, so I guess I have disadvantage if I attack it.
Well, there are currently only 2 left. One of
I
them.
thought there's 1 left. Because there were 4 when someone firebolted the last one. The last one that was entangled, and then Chris just killed 2.
Yes, I did.
Stand corrected. There is 1 left. It is probably the one that was trying to attack you before. One of the 2.
Okay.
So you can see these, little hoof-shaped mechanical footprints right underneath you.
So if I guess I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it, the last one again. Do I have disadvantage?
Yeah, I would probably say so. He's
I think that is a 14. Yep, 14.
okay. Well, that still hits.
For 5 damage.
Alrighty. Well, that one's been damaged for the first time. And it is going to take its turn. So it's invisible to you, and there's 3 of you to it, so this should be interesting. And that is an 8.
That doesn't even hit.
Alright.
Sweet.
So with that, we are at Orin.
All right.
Wait,
going.
you skipped Milo.
Oh.
Yep.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I went to the monsters instead. Milo.
Why don't you like Milo, Carl?
Seriously.
What did Milo
prefer
ever do to you?
Otis.
All right.
See what you did there.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna. Okay. So.
Before you do anything,
Yes.
a fog cloud rolls in around you.
Wait, what? It was raining, and now it's...
Yes, it was
What?
raining, but now it seems to be foggy immediately around you, Milo.
All right.
Oh, okay.
What's my visibility like? How far could I see through this? 5 feet, 10 feet, 20?
Yeah, you can still see where the last one is left, but
Okay.
it's kind of faint.
Okay. Well, I would move in toward it. I think I have half speed in this area, but I'm assuming it's within. Is it within 15 feet of me?
Yeah, it's pretty close. They're all
Okay.
pretty close now.
Yep. All right. So I would move in, and I'm gonna take a wide swing with my quarterstaff. And that's going to be a miss. That's an 8 to hit.
Yeah.
So I swing, and the fog is just too much for me, and I whiff.
All right. So
Happens to the best of us.
now we're at Orin.
Alright, is the
Let
fog
me
going around me as well?
do 1 sec here.
Alright.
So Orin, you don't immediately see this, but everyone else who can see you, so everyone but Silver, sees an eye appear in your forehead.
That's safe.
Alright, so I have no idea about my eye.
It's the most bizarre stuff here. What's wrong with my eye? I love it.
And
This
so
is
I
why
have,
we stay in the woods, kids.
Yeah. So no idea about my eye being
Well,
there?
I mean, if you think you would notice it, it's probably is pretty obvious, but
Alright, trying to ignore my explicit vision now. I'm going to try to throw, like a baseball, another firebolt at the remaining robots.
okay.
And that will be a 22.
Awesome. That's a hit.
And then that is 5 damage.
All right. And you said what was the spell again?
Firebolt.
Okay. So you kind of how would the firebolt destroy this creature?
As it's trying to catch Silver, I would throw it across towards it to land into its back, where the firebolt would explode, and where the robot will do the same and explode.
Okay. So as this last little cube kind of falls, about 30 more seconds pass, Silver, before you can see everything kind of flickering, everyone kind of flickering back to the way they were. The rain has resumed. The fog has rolled away. Your third eye has kind of sucked back into your head. The blue kind of starts to come off, as if the rain is washing it away.
Hey, Blue! Ah!
So does Silver get to see any of that strangeness before it goes away, or does it just flicker out of existence at the same time that she begins to see everyone again?
No, it's like a slow fade back. Like you sort of start to see vague shapes and outlines, and then it becomes more and more and more solid. So you would definitely see some interesting things going on.
So she's probably not gonna mention anything because she doesn't believe it even is happening. Like she must be seeing things, she's thinking, and she kind of like does a double take, and then goes, "Oh, everyone was missing. Everyone was gone. I don't know what happened. Where were you guys? I was just me against this construct, and then he just burst into flames out of nowhere."
That was one of the most bizarre things I've ever. No, that was the most bizarre thing I've ever experienced. This is truly why I don't come into towns and cities very often.
And you can kind of see overhead that the whatever those flying creatures were, they seem to be very high in the sky now, kind of spiraling like vultures, and slowly seem to be turning north and away. And you hear behind you, fire! Fire! Help us!
I would immediately rush to help.
And you see all kinds of gnomes and dwarfs and halflings. They've each got a bucket, and then one of them shoves the bucket into each of you, towards each of you, except with the exception, of course, of Silver.
Is the rain not helping at all for the fire?
It's helping a little bit, but it's kind of like it's not like it dimmed it down a bit, but there's still some buildings that are kind of aflame.
Okay.
Silver will take one of those toy teacups from the little musical box, and fill it with water and dump it on the fire.
Like put out a little like cinder on a leaf somewhere.
Yeah, so I would definitely join in with the putting out of the fire and throwing buckets of water on the flames.
Okay, and it doesn't take very long. It's mostly just some of the drier and older trees that were kind of caught up, but and the rain definitely helped quite a bit. Now that as you see, you can kind of take a second to get your bearings and see that there's pretty large sections of the city that were scorched pretty heavily. If you've ever seen lightning damage before, it is pretty awesome to behold. It's kind of twisted around the trees and charred black, and the branches are splintered and shattered in all directions. And you sort of see towards the center of town. You hear a voice saying, "Oh, why did I do that? Why did stupid? Oh, stupid, so stupid." And you see a gnome.
Do I know this person since I'm from this town?
Yes, you do. He's a very well-known tinker gnome in this town. He is an inventor, and his name is Gimbal Spring Thunderclasp.
Gimbal Spring, what's going on?
Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Oh, so stupid. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. It's all my fault.
Gimbal, calm down. What is going on?
And you see this relatively young-looking gnome. He's got jet black hair, and he's got those jeweler's apprentice goggles.
Yeah.
Clipped down over his eyes, and his hands are covered in oil, and he's just even for the rain, you can see that he's crying, he's sobbing pretty heavily, and he's just trying to get his bearings. He says, "I never meant for this to happen."
Silver will fly up to him and go, "It's okay, mister. It's okay. It's okay. Willowbean is looking over down upon all of us. Whatever you've done, we and she just kind of cuts off, and I guess she's trying to ascertain what he's like done. You said he has some oil on his face or something?
On his hands?
On his hands?
Yeah, he's pretty he's almost got what looks like mechanics overalls on, denim, and pretty well faded and worn. All kinds of things hanging out of his pockets, and he's just sitting in the puddle in the rain, saying, holding up, this two halves of this cube, and saying, I made this. This wasn't supposed to be like this." He just kind of lets it fall to the ground.
Silver's gonna try to catch one side and just kind of like be pulled down by its weight, and she's kind of on the ground now trying to push those two parts together. It's okay, Mister. It's okay. It's okay.
And I would probably approach and say, what about those flying things? What on earth were those? Where have they gone?
Those are my ornithopters. We're supposed to help us get around. They're supposed to protect us from the dangers, but I don't know. I was experimenting with this new fuel source, and I don't know.
Is it blue? Did you use blue fuel?
He looks at you and he says, "How did you know?"
I had blue on me.
He says, "Well, for years I've watched the smoke coming from the ground, that blue smoke, the aether. Well, I had the idea. If I captured it, I put it in a bottle, and it was tremendous amount of energy that it generated. It kept my house lit for days, just a small little bottle. And I thought, if I could only make a machine that ran on this, how long it could go without having to be maintained, and it's just all gone mad."
Do you have some way of controlling them, like some kind of remote device?
No, they're supposed to patrol, and if they see a threat, they're supposed to attack it, but I don't know why they would see us as a threat.
It's okay, Mister. We can think of something. We can fix this.
And you see a dwarf with a beard down to his feet, clomping down the stairs, down these stairs that have been carved out of an old tree, clomping down, saying, "What is the meaning of this?"
Do I know this dwarf?
Yes, this is Foulhand. He is the captain of the guard. And he is heavily scarred and very, very old, even by dwarven standards. His eyes are kind of sunken and his face is wrinkled, and he's a very well-known, not really a war hero, but a very well-known hunter who's well past his prime now. And he kind of comes bumbling out, almost bull rushing, and he pushes Gimbal into the mud. He says, You're the one who done it." And he's sort of grappling with this man, with Gimbal.
Orin's going to run over to try to separate the two of them.
Yeah, I would try to rationalize with him. Captain, please, that's not going to help.
And he turns and he says, "We gotta go after that ruddy thing. We gotta go. We gotta bring it down now."
I agree.
You hear Gimbal say, "What if we could just save as much as you can?" And then you see the dwarf scowling down at him. "Destroy it, all of it."
I will
Captain.
gladly destroy that abomination.
Captain, if we bring Gimbal with us, perhaps he'll have knowledge that'll help us defeat them, or maybe save parts for him. He should come with us.
And Gimbal looks like he would definitely be willing to go with you. He's got this very sullen look on his face.
Are you able to defend yourself, Gimbal?
I can do all right by myself. I'll be fine. I know the quickest way to get to this thing, to get to them, but I don't know if any of you are going to like it. It's another, invention of mine.
Does it have the blue stuff in it?
He says, he just shakes his head and says, "No, that was my first venture into that territory."
I'm willing to give it a try.
So
Yeah.
they'll fly up to Gimbal and flittering about, and she'll say, "It's okay, Mister. We'll make everything right. You know what you can do."
I trust Gimbal since he was the one who made my great sword.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would go along. I would say, well, I'm skeptical of any new contraptions, but if it'll help us bring down that awful mess of a, well, let's have a look.
And he kind of brings you he brings you all along, and there's a big wall of shrubbery that's kind of covering in front of you, and he pulls it away, and you see in the clearing in the night, yeah, under the night sky, there's this really long uh, balloon, almost like a football-shaped blimp, probably at least 30 feet long, sitting on the forest floor, and underneath it, tied by just looks dozens and dozens of ropes and pulleys, is this big wooden gondola, this open-air gondola. You can see that there's a steering wheel on it. There's four harpoons on each corner, and there's things to trim the rudders and the sails. And you can see emblazoned in gold paint on the side of this white canvas of this balloon, it says Brindleberg. He says, come, friends. We haven't much time."
Follow him into the gondola.
And he pulls on a throttle, and elemental fire erupts into this blimp and starts to make it glow orange as it begins to sort of shake and rattle and rise.
Yeah, I don't like the look of this.
I really don't like it.
There's a big center mast with a bunch of really heavy-looking black ropes, and he hands brass hooks at the end of them, and he hands one to each of you, one at a time, and he gives you a harness, and he clicks it into place and clicks the rope on. He says, or let's say he starts with Baylor. He starts fitting you with this harness.
Would I have seen this device like fly before, or whatever it's gonna do? Like, have I seen this device work before, like this gondola?
Yeah, you've heard of the Brindleberg. It's a pretty famous dirigible.
Okay.
It's mostly for patrolling,
Okay.
but of course it's got the harpoons on it, just in case something happens.
Yeah.
The thing that he's trying to click you into is kind of like a central anchor in case you were to fall off. It kind of keeps you from tumbling to the ground.
Okay, cool. I would help as whatever I could to rig myself into it.
All right, and then he would move to Orin and offer you a harness.
Warren will reluctantly take it and slowly put it on, making sure it's extra tight.
All right, and then he moves to Milo.
And Milo would also take it, and I would say, now, just to be clear, do I have to get on that thing, or can I swing below with using this harness? Is it strong enough?
He looks at you like he hadn't really thought of it, and he says, "Well, as long as you aren't over 500 stone, I suppose the test should hold." It's quite strong rope after all.
Good then. And I slap him on the shoulder and I harness myself in and kind of hold my staff and shield very tight and look very nervous.
Gimbal would turn with another harness towards you, Silver, and then go, never mind.
Silver's gonna fly away from the group towards the gondola, and she's gonna look at the engraving, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, it's so shiny! Isn't it shiny, people? It's so big! It's so massive! It's this big!" And she tries to make it look as like she's trying to hold her arms out as wide as she can, but it's not nearly as big as the gondola, of course.
I once caught a fish this big. It was a minnow. Yes, and the bottom portion of the ship is of this blimp is almost like a what's the word? I'm trying to think of what those are called. The catamaran ships, except for it's got wooden flooring all along it. There's no gaps, but it's very flat. But then it's got the smooth rudders on the bottom. And you guys, after he clicks you in place, he pulls the throttle again, and the blimp starts to rise up through to the forest. And he looks at the brindlewood trees and says, "Oh, don't want to be landing on one of those, eh? Better keep climbing."
Orin's going to grab onto the rope as tightly as he can.
As you're climbing higher than you've ever been, this is higher than any tree that you've ever been. Now you're above the forest, above the canopy, and it's quickly sinking below you. And you can see that the brindlewood forest spreads out like a carpet in all directions, and it starts to get hilly in the distance, and you can see the jagged mountain chain that's known as only as the teeth, kind of making a spine across the edge of the horizon, and you start to get to climb to the point where the clouds, it almost looks like you can reach up and touch them. It's getting colder, and the air is getting a little bit stronger, and the craft is kind of swaying and shuddering and rocking, and in the distance you can see thunder, lightning flashing, and hear thunder, and illuminated as a thunder flash, you can see the two creatures, the two ornithopters, kind of circling in the distance, and you see Gimbal grabs the steering wheel and sort of shift the rudder over, move the blimp in the direction of the lightning. He turns to you and says, "Well, I hope you have a plan."
So shoot him out of the sky, of course.
So I would be swinging below this thing. I don't know how far, but holding on for dear life. And I would not be able to hear what he's saying.
Okay.
So I'm confused again, Carl. The ornithopters have been around the town for a while, right?
Well, what we're in right now is a blimp, and what they are is basically like artificial brass birds, for lack of a better term.
No, I get that. I'm not talking about like at this moment. I mean, in the little, because the ornithopters have been around before, correct?
They have been around, but they've been being built. You've never seen them in flight before.
Okay.
This is the first time that you've seen them in flight. You've been hearing about this new project and about this alternative fuel source that he had discovered, but this is your first interaction with them intact.
Okay.
And he would kind of point. Gimbal would kind of point to the harpoons and say, "Would any of you fancy a seat in that?
Do what now?
He's
Sorry.
pointing to the chair with the harpoon gun. There's a couple of them.
I'll
at the
jump
front.
into one of them.
Okay.
I'll hold up my hand and say, "Oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine."
Okay, everyone's on the gondola now and not.
Yeah, we're in the air. I believe Milo is hanging below. he's about 40 feet below.
I'm admiring the beauty of Brindlewood and just taking it in, and then all of a sudden remembering myself and how perilously I'm hanging.
Yeah,
Silver is going to flutter on by and land on your shoulder, and she's like, "It's really cold up here. I've never been up this high. What a fantastic view down below."
Yes, it is, and well, I'm very thankful for the company. Please do stick around.
and you see the trees below as the lightning kind of lances. They look up. It almost looks like you're looking down into a spike trap, and it just gives you a little tinge of nerves.
I might be regretting my decision at this point.
Ooh, porcupine. Well, I'm sure Silver can hold you up. And Gimbal would take this time to. He's got a pretty sizable bottle of what you can only guess is some kind of alcohol, and he uncorks it and says, "Well, good as time as any to drink this, eh, boys?"
He got it mixed up with the oil.
And he takes out an old, beat-up looking cup and pours a glass and offers it up to anyone.
Orin will take it.
All right, and he pours another glass.
I'll have some.
All right. He pours a glass for himself. You see him take out a flask, and he pours some into a flask, and he kind of leans over the side and goes, "You there, halfling, catch!" And you see a flask falling towards you.
And I would do my best to catch it, but I don't know if I would be able to.
And he would turn you to those of you that are up on the top, and he would hold up his cup and say, "To necessity, the mother of invention. To failure, the father of invention."
Did Milo catch the cup?
Oh, let me roll for it. I'm going to say maybe dexterity DC 12. I rolled a 1, so no.
Oh
No!
Oh!
It hits you in the forehead and then falls.
There you go. Yeah.
I was going to say, if you had caught it, Silver would have taken that little teacup from earlier and dipped it in the cup.
Sorry to let you down, Silver. Yeah, I now have a big lump on my forehead right where it hit me, turning purple.
And you hear the glasses clinking as they toast. And those of you who are able to drink, it's got an effect similar to a healing potion.
Okay. So that's 2d4 plus 2?
Yeah, and you would hear liquid pouring again, and Gimbal kind of peeks out over the side this time with a wineskin, and he says, "Don't drop this one."
All right, this time, should I roll for it again?
No, go ahead and decide what happens there.
If you were going
I do
to, I was
catch
going
it.
to give you guidance.
I do catch it, and I take a whiff, and not bad. And I take a swig, and then hold it over to my little fairy friend.
who will then proceed to take the teacup and dip it into the.
Dip it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It fits.
Yep.
I imagine, Silver, that you are quite the lightweight.
It doesn't take much for it to be gone.
Yeah. So, if you'd like to roll that, I think Mark needed it more than anybody, so I'm
Yep.
assuming.
You said 2d4 4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3, 7.
And this whiskey that he had poured, that's also had been cut with some kind of healing potion. He doesn't like the taste of healing potions, so he found a way around it. It kind of makes you feel very warm at the core of your body. It sort of takes away the cold wind and the rain. The rain almost feels like you're in a hot shower. It's very refreshing. It's very relaxing now. And you see Gimbal say, well, friends, I thank you for helping me out of this awful mess. I fear without friends like you, I surely would have been banished. I suppose it's probably bad luck to talk about success already. Let us see what happens. And he looks kind of sullen, kind of sitting, and he says, maybe I knew eventually that if you push the boundaries too far, the boundary would push back. But I can only hope it's not too late. And as he says this, you can hear the roaring of these creatures as they kind of start circling around on the horizon, about probably within 50 or 60 feet of you, just kind of making low, lazy circles. You can see now that their body is kind of made to look like bird feathers, carved out of bronze, but their wings are cloth and wood, and they're very lightweight and sort of malleable looking. You can hear the tick-tocking noise of gears clicking together as these birds kind of make this artificial flight. And you can almost read the letters engraved on the sides of these creatures. You can see the first one. It says Klik, and the second one says Klak, as they sort of zoom by one after the other. And Gimbal kind of shakes his head and says, well, let's get this over with.
All right then.
Let's do it.
So shall we roll initiative?
Yes.
All right.
I'll keep that.
I have a +1 or a +2 initiative +1, so that would be that then.
I roll it.
Okay. Looks like. All right. Looks like Chris, followed by.
Well, we gotta decide if Mark wants to go before or after me.
Yeah. How do you want to do that, Mark?
What's your dex modifier?
0.
I'll go before you.
Yeah, that's straight up 19.
Okay. Looks like Spencer and Nate. All right. Now the pen is sort of working again.
Yippee.
The pen made a comeback.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I've got one right here. You can use this one.
Yeah. Hold on.
Attach it to a file. Pen.jpg.
I wish. That'd be awesome.
That would someday.
Mm-hmm. So you see Klik. You see the one that's got Klik written and engraved in large letters on its side. Turns its red eyes to you, and he is going to go after. He's going to kind of swoop down at Baylor, and he is going to.
Do I take a penalty because I'm in the harpoon thing?
No, you're not at disadvantage if that's what you mean. Like he doesn't have advantage on you right now, but he's.
I wasn't sure how that applied because I'm sitting stationary.
Yeah. I think the argument would be that the harpoon is between you and it, because it's trying to, basically it's flying right at you, and it's trying to bite you through the harpoon.
Okay.
So, let's see. And that is a 10. So I'm assuming it kind of it tries to chomp down on you, but it gets stuck. It bites down on the harpoon gun for a second, realizes it's biting into a harpoon and not you, and immediately lets go.
Okay.
And you can see it doesn't have teeth, but it's got like a bird beak.
Okay.
But it's still very sharp-looking metal around it.
Okay.
With that, you are up.
All right. I'm going to attempt to fire the harpoon at Klik.
Yep, that's Klik. Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what do you want me to add to this roll?
For the harpoon,
Yeah.
it would be your dex, I believe.
Which is +1. 20.
Nice. Okay, Chris, what happens with this harpoon?
I picture as he's opening up to bite and he's like in the middle of chomping, that's when I take the moment and fire into his mouth.
Okay. And you can see that there's like in his, as he's opening up, you can see inside there's all these gears, clicking together down all the way through to the back of this thing. So go ahead and roll your damage.
What's the damage on a harpoon?
Which will be, let's say it is 1d10 plus 3.
Okay. Do I roll again because it's critical?
Yeah, or double.
18 damage in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So you kind of hear that clang, 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 clang as this harpoon ricochets around on the inside of this creature, and it writhes for a second, and finally you see the harpoon.
Do I have a? Can I change the plot because I got a 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I have a moment to jump off of the harpoon onto Klik?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I get a thing and quickly run up the harpoon and grab hold of him.
Yep, they've got him like you've got around his head, basically.
Yeah.
And you hear one of the gears stick for a second as the harpoon makes its way through, and then you hear the harpoon snap.
Okay.
And the gear and with that, we are at silver.
Where is the other one at right now?
He's just kind of circling. He's actually about midway down between where the ship is and where you are.
Specifically, how far away?
It's probably about 20, 25 feet.
1 moment. Okay. So it says here Witch Bolt is 30 feet range, so I should be able to hit it, or at least attempt to. I will expend my last spell slot to do this. Ooh, nice. That's a 22.
All right, that's a hit.
And basically, the way I picture it is, she's calling upon nature, and some cloud. There, it's still raining, clouds and stuff like that, and it's kind of thundering a bit, and she calls upon nature to strike the beast with the lightning damage, and that is 2d12.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Wow. That is 5 damage.
Wow, with 2d12?
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Bites.
Sucks.
But at least it's still there. I can, as long as I keep up my concentration, I can do it again next turn.
Well, it does make sense since they use lightning as a weapon that the lightning attack wouldn't be super effective. Alrighty. And with that, Klak is actually going to turn his attention to you since you just damaged him a little bit.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
You see his mouth, the lightning that you hit him with seems to have kind of almost charged him up a little bit. You see his mouth open and you see this blue energy coming out of it, and he is going to breathe. He's going to use lightning breath and hit you and Milo, or try to.
I think I just
Bring it.
angered him, Milo. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I don't like this.
This is a dexterity saving throw from both of you, please.
All right.
Oh God. 20. That was a net 20.
I got a 10.
Okay. So let's see. Let me roll this real quick. So that's
Don't hold back.
oh yeah, that is rough.
This could be it, guys.
Silver is really sorry. She angered the beast and then dipped on you.
It's all good. It's a fight, man.
So the total damage to you, Milo, is 21.
Okay, so
And the total damage to you, Silver, is 10? 11?
11 damage?
Yeah.
Okay. That full 21 would have downed her.
It would have downed most of us.
so for me, this lightning, it's lightning, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep. So you would just see Milo, the lightning coursing through Milo's body and then just limp, and I'm unconscious.
Now, Milo, you are recalling you're sort of seeing your life going before your eyes.
Uh-huh.
You remember the first time that you ever went on a hunt with your father, and when you really first discovered your love for nature, and you're in that moment right now as this battle is raging on.
And I'm sitting by a serene lake with my father, and it is just peaceful.
And every once in a while, every maybe 30 seconds or so, you just for a split second you hear wings flapping and lightning pealing and people screaming, and then it's right back to that situation, right
My
back
happy
to.
place.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. And with that, it is.
Dang it.
Milo.
I had to take real quick here. I had to make a Constitution saving throw to see if I continued having concentration with my Witch Bolt, and I just rolled a 1, so I am no longer. That spell is no longer active.
Okay.
And since it's my turn, I had to roll a death save, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I failed. Carry on, gents.
Okay, so that flash of the battle, you actually shut your eyes to block that out, and you're back in the lake again. And this time, it doesn't. The flash doesn't return. You are just there. Your father's showing you how to catch a fish, and you're just completely in another world.
Mm.
This is real to you. This is just everything that you want.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Of course, everyone that's looking at you is just saying,
Drool kind of in the wind. Just
And with that, we are back to Klik, who now has Baylor on his back.
Wait, do I get a turn?
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't write you down, did I?
Skipping him again.
Oh, Orin got an 18.
Yeah.
He got before Silver.
No.
Got a little mixed up there with
after
Yeah, right.
Silver.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right.
I see what I did there now.
So,
I'm horrible at turn order.
He
Thank you
looked at
for...
the 6 and not the 18. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. No worries.
Okay. So, yes, please, Aaron.
Alright, is there a way to try to hit them both with a shatter spell?
Ooh.
With a what kind of... With a shatter?
Shatter.
Yes.
Yes, at the exact moment that right after you see Milo go down, there's a split second where you can hit them both.
Alright, I'm going to whisper, sorry, Baylor, and then cast Shatter on them. So everyone there needs to make a Constitution saving throw, and both Klik and Klak have disadvantage since they are non-organic.
Mm-hmm.
Constitution saving throw.
And it's a spell save of 15.
And they have disadvantage.
18, so I pass.
They both failed.
Alright, so then there'll be 15 damage to both of them, and then 7 to Baylor.
15?
Yeah, he said 15.
Okay.
How much did I take?
7.
Okay.
So luckily the thing absorbed most of the hit from you. The bad luck is that some of that shrapnel, came up through.
Yep.
Let's see. Baylor,
Yes.
you see that shatter spell has left a huge hole, like an exit wound through the back of this thing that is just it's as big around as you are, and this thing is kind of struggling to keep aloft. As you can see, the gears are kind of rattling inside of this thing.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
I accidentally did that incorrectly, but yes. It'll then be Orange's turn after you go again.
Silver.
It should be Silver after.
Yes,
Baylor.
silver then Orin.
See, I got it all wrong. Okay.
Okay. With just a quick look that doesn't involve taking an action, do I see anything in there that would be the thing that controls, like... I'm assuming this thing has wings or something of some type, correct?
Yeah, it's got like a wing, mechanism inside there, like a joint mechanism.
Is there something in there that is clearly this is the thing that makes the wings stay in the air?
Like a central shaft or something like that, like an axle.
Something like that.
Yes, you can see it. It's rotating and rumbling in the center.
Okay. I'm gonna get into to the thing and try to keep the thing moving and seeing if that steadies the flight.
Okay, so you're trying to use locomotion to speed
I'm
up.
trying to take command of the thing.
Ah. Okay, let's do a contest.
Okay, what would you like me to roll?
Well, it's either, let's go with strength. You're going to win this one. I can almost guarantee it.
23.
7. So this thing resists at first, but it just can't. It can't stop you from controlling whatever you would like to do.
Okay.
What are you attempting to make it do?
Right now, just for this turn, because I'm assuming it's going to take all my turn, I just want to look around and get an idea of what does what. Like, what is it that causes the lightning breath and that kind of thing. I'm just going to use the rest of my turn to just ascertain the area.
Okay. You can almost immediately see that there are these tubes that lead to the mouth of this creature.
Okay.
That are glowing blue.
Okay.
You have the feeling that this is where the energy comes from.
Okay, that'll be my turn then.
Alrighty. So now we're at silver.
I was gonna make my move, but looks like Nate's gonna be right back. So I think my move is gonna have something with that. But I do have a question. Oh, there he is. So does the guidance spell, which allows you to add something, a D4 to your ability modifier, does that work for death saving throws?
I believe so. I'll go ahead and say it does, even if it doesn't.
Okay, because I wanted to take Silver's turn and use it trying to wake his character. She's slapping him across the face and goes, "Hey, you, wake up!"
So Milo, you're now being taught how to shave. Your father's showing you how to use a razor blade, and you nick yourself, and the blood starts to flow, and you hear this voice, "Hey, you!"
Silver, you just got drool all over your hands.
That's okay, and then we're back to Orin.
All right. To try to, I'm going to take another firebolt in my hands, and then, like a baseball, try to hit Klak with it.
Okay.
That is a 16 plus a 23.
That is a hit. A palpable hit.
And that is a 2 damage.
A 2 damage. Alright. So you may be hit like the cloth part of the wing. It definitely does a little damage, but it's not. It's nothing like your shatter, which seemed to almost be like a shotgun blast to Klik the turn before. All right, and with that, it is Klak's turn. He's probably going to turn his attention to you, Orin, since you did just do quite a bit of damage in the last round.
Alrighty.
He is going to try and bite you. And that is a 13.
So that is a
Which
match.
just barely hits. And he does 10 piercing damage as he bites down, kind of squeezing your body with his mechanical jaws.
Alright, Orin is going to kind of almost freak out and start to yell out for help from anyone you can.
And you feel behind you, you feel the rope snap, the safety rope, as he kind of pulls you. But with that, it is Milo. Back to Milo. Which I believe you have an extra, is it +4 or is it a D4?
D4.
Okay.
Extra D4, yeah. Yep. So, yeah. Now my father is teaching me how to use my quarterstaff, and I'm hitting at trees with it and falling logs and I fail.
Wow.
Oh man.
You hear the voice of Silver, but it changes into the voice of your little sister. Saying, hey, wait up! I want to do it. And you're just again lost in the moment.
Mm-hmm. It was a good try, Silver. Thanks for the help.
That 2 fails now.
Oh yeah, this is getting a little dangerous.
Woo.
Yeah. And I knew it when I rolled up a character with 15 hit points. It was like, this could go poorly.
Yeah, the same
Third level,
here. I
15 hit
rolled up a
points.
character with 18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not much better.
You guys are all pretty low, so with that, Klik. Klik is going to try to resist you.
Okay. What do I... strength again?
Yeah, another strength.
That is a nat 20 on my end, so I'm thinking no.
Yeah, he rolled a 10. So, again, you're just physically overpowering this thing.
Can I argue that because I rolled a nat 20, I have control of it?
Yes, you actually...
Like, it's not going to fight me anymore.
Yeah, you actually found the... what is essentially... You found the crystalline cube that was in the center of this creature's head. You found it and you pulled it out and you realize that this is the thing. You remember Gimbal showing it to you. This is the thing that allows this creature to have some kind of sentience and some kind of life and intelligence. So you rip that out and now you just have the task now of keeping this creature aloft and
Okay.
but it is no longer in control of its faculties.
Good.
So for all intents and purposes, Klik is
Out of the battle.
neutralized. And with that, we are to you, Baylor. Or would you like to do anything on your turn, Baylor?
Yeah, I'm gonna... Do I see any way that would be obvious that would be the thing that causes the lightning to go out? Like, I know I see the tubes, but is there some kind of button or something wherever the lightning's coming from that would cause it to release?
There's a lever that's got a lightning bolt on it. You're pretty sure that's what that's
Okay.
for.
I would maneuver over and point at Klak and pull the lever.
All right. So
Oh god.
Klak is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is Orin going to have to as well?
Most likely, because it is a breath weapon.
Um,
But you do have advantage because you have the thing between you and the breath.
my first roll is a 22.
Well, there you go. You're perfectly fine.
Alrighty.
Chris, go ahead and roll. The damage on this is 3d10.
Okay, so... 25 plus whatever.
Okay. So, Orin, this thing had chomped around you, and you felt the rope about to snap. Your safety rope, and it almost felt like it was going to fling you over the edge of this. But just as it was about to start to lean back to do that, you see the other ornithopter breathe this lightning onto it, and it just falls apart. It's just it goes full, almost like in the Blues Brothers. It just like kind of collapses into a pile of cogs and springs and metal sheets.
Nice. So do I take half damage of that?
Probably at that point, I would argue that it took the brunt of it. So you were able to kind of skip out of the way of it a little bit.
Well,
The
also,
only
rationally, I would have seen this thing doing its attack in town, right? So I would have an idea of the width of the blast. So logically, I could have pointed it in a way where it would have only hit.
yeah, you would have tried to aim it in a way that
Where
it
the
kind of,
edge of it would just catch him, so he wouldn't be hit.
like Orin, you probably would have taken superficial damage just from the residual outer edge of it, but it's otherwise the only other thing that it does is it kind of snaps several of the cables that support the gondola. It kind of wobbles a little bit. But with that, we are out of the combat.
Okay.
So
I would unrig myself and just pilot the ornithopter for the moment.
Just kind of okay.
I'm just gonna fly the ornithopter.
And he let's see. So Milo's still hanging there on the end of the rope. Would anyone like to do anything about that, or do we just?
Can I
do we
try to
still have
like
that
fly down and catch him? Or...
Wait, do we still have that swig that's like just hanging about with us?
He does have the skin in his the wine skin clutched
Tucked it
in
into
his
my
belt.
bag.
Oh yeah, okay. So Silver wants to is gonna try to pick that up. It's gonna be quite difficult for her to manage. Do you want me to roll a strength check to see if she can do this?
Let's see. If you can tell me narratively how you got such a large thing to him.
I can't really like. It doesn't make sense to me, so I just want to roll, see if.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Awful lot of 20s.
Yeah.
I
Sometimes that's just the way the dice roll. I've been on the other side of that a lot of times.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, me
Oh,
too.
Yep.
Like that time where I rolled up a character sheet and I literally got all ones like down the line.
So you guys hear Sopra going, like struggling and saying, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. She's like it's quite difficult for her, and she's like pushing up with all her strength, and she's like, Willabane, give me strength.
And you see her eye. I'm
I
sorry.
must guide him back to the living, the land of the living, and she takes the swill and pours it into his open mouth, which is still drooling. With the wind.
And Milo, you're in this tavern and you're having your first drink when this happens, and you go to knock back the ale, and the ale tastes like whiskey for some reason. And
And my eyes open all of a sudden, and I'm aware that I'm hurt. My body hurts. There's burning on the inside. I kind of cough and say, "Oh, thank you."
Hey, listen! You almost died.
Don't want you, Navi.
and
Well,
you
I was
would-
in a much happier place, but I suppose it's good to be alive. Thank you.
Alright, Oren's going to lean over the edge very carefully and say, "Hey, you want me to pull you up?"
Yes, please. Yes.
And with all of his strength, he's going to struggle to carry Milo up the 40 feet into the gondola.
And as you get about 3/4 of the way done with it, you hear Gimbal go, and he kind of tilts his head over to the winch that's sitting there.
Orin's gonna look at him and be a little bit embarrassed and kind of just drop Milo back down to the 40 and then run over to the winch and into the winch and just start cranking.
Nice. So you're slowly, as you're ascending, the airship is slowly drifting down. Gimbal sort of guiding it down into an opening, in a clearing in a field, as you kind of glide to a stop. And Gimbal kind of looks to all of you, and you see Baylor kind of landing less than gracefully into the field on his ornithopter. But Gimbal looks to you all and says, "Thank you, my friends. I didn't think we would be able to keep either of these intact, but this is more than I could have ever asked for. You saved it. You saved this one.
I walk up and put the cube in his hand.
And he looks at it and
needs work.
He looks at it and he says, he kind of clicks down a few magnifiers and he says, "What in the world happened here?" And he says it looks like the inner crystalline structure looks like it changed itself. Could it be that? And he's kind of, he looks at it again and then he says, and he goes silent and he just kind of starts trotting off into the distance. And then it changes into a full-blown sprint. And you just hear him, as he's holding the cube, shaking it, going, "Wild magic! That's the answer, it's wild magic!" And he's just, you can see he's back to his old self again as he sort of runs towards home. That's
I'm gonna look to the rest of them and be like, "So, do we just leave the gondola here, or follow him, or?"
I'm keeping this ornithopter. I'll figure out how to fly it better. I having this thing attack the city again.
I know we saved it and everything, but I was actually going to suggest we destroy it. The thing is dangerous.
Yes, well, without the thing, it's just a tool. Like, as long as it doesn't have its sentient cube, it's fine.
I don't know, and I kind of take my staff and I tap it and look skeptically. I don't trust it, but it's your choice.
I hop back in and start flying around in circles again.
Silver's just gonna watch it and she's gonna be like, "It's not an animal. I can't sense anything from it. Therefore, it's not good."
I'm with you, Silver.
I think that as long as Gimbal keeps his experiments down to a minimum with it, it won't be too bad.
okay. Excellent. That is worth noting. All right. So the last thing that we see is, or the last thing we hear or see is a little spritz of magic shooting from the ground, and it kind of pings against the ornithopter. And the very last thing that we hear is Baylor going, "Blue again!"
Blue! Cut to Blue playing in the background as the credits roll.
Oh man.
You see an old man closing a book and setting it on the shelf. His grandson has long since fallen into a deep sleep, and he slides it back in the shelf, and you see he kind of hobbles off and blows off the lantern, and you see him exit through the house, and we pan back and we see that he's actually coming out of a giant, probably at least 20 or 30 foot tall snail shell that's on top of a snail, with multiple windows and etched into it, and lights of all kinds dancing around it as it slowly makes its way through the forest. And as we sort of start to pan out and see the snail slowly making its way through the woods, the screen would slowly fade to black.
Awesome.
Pure epicness.
I'm going to go ahead and cut the broadcast off here. Thank you guys for watching.
So long, everyone.
Bye.
That was cool.